Hey guys, WhiteFox1225 here, and today we're going to be talking about the new Election Day DLC for Payday 2. So I haven't done a Payday 2 video in a while, mostly because we haven't gotten a lot of content other than like weapon packs. But we actually are getting a 3-day heist, and it's actually pretty big, and the most awesome news is that it's free, and it's coming out this weekend. So I'm just going to give you guys all the details about it. We're going to go day to day to the heist, saying what you're going to be doing. And in the background, you can see some of the trailers that we've actually gotten so far, and I'll explain some background about them in a little bit. So basically, Overkill was giving out these weird Twitter posts talking about this guy named Bob McHenrick, running for the mayor of Washington, D.C. Now, he obviously wasn't a real candidate, and it really was just leading up to a Payday 2 DLC. But it did look kind of real. I mean, I went on the website. It looked like it could be a real candidate, which it obviously wasn't. But it looked pretty, convincing. But the videos that they came out with, they didn't even mention Payday 2, but they're basically like these ads for Bob McHenrick and his campaign. There's like an attack ad they came out with, and you guys can see that in the background of the video. But I'll also have links in the description to the actual videos, and I recommend watching them because they're kind of weird. The second one's kind of funny. But they are really cool, and I think they did a pretty good job with them. So let's actually talk about the DLC. So it's going to be released on the 20th, which is 2 days, which is Friday. And it's going to be a free DLC. You don't even have to pay any. It's just basically just a free update for the game, which is really awesome. They actually did this with the Christmas heist, and they're doing it a lot, which is really nice. And the reason they're giving free updates is just because they're making so much money on the game, and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's coming out on the 20th, and it should actually be for all platforms, which is weird because usually PC just gets all the releases, but it looks like it'll be coming out for PS4, Xbox 360, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. So let's just talk a little bit more. So it was originally supposed to be a 5-day heist, but now it looks definitely like it's going to be a 3-day heist. It was rumored to be 5 days, but if you go on the actual website for the DLC, it is a 3-day heist. And it's all political based around Election Day, which is kind of weird because Election Day isn't until November, but anyway, that's what they decided to do. So basically, for day one, you're going to be going to this warehouse and you're going to be tagging trucks with GPSs, and those trucks you'll go into later, and we'll talk about that, and that leads us to day two. So in day two, you'll actually be going to this shipping depot looking thing with all these boxes, and you'll actually be switching out the ballots for the machines where the election that will be used in the election day, which I think will be the next day. So why you're switching the ballots out before the actual election, I'm not quite sure, but obviously we'll have to wait and find out when we actually get the DLC. So in day three, you'll be entering a bank where the voting is actually taking place, and you're going to be disrupting the voting by destroying voting machines and things like that. So a 3-day heist, which is really nice because all the previous DLC we've gotten has been 1-day heists. The only 2-day heist we have gotten would be the armored transport heist, if you actually managed to get the train heist, which was actually pretty rare and pretty hard to do. Why they did that, I have no idea. But hopefully we will be getting more multiple day DLCs in the future. So like I said, all political based, which I kind of liked. I always liked the sort of political edge Payday 2 had. And apparently you'll be doing these jobs for the elephant, which is kind of weird because the person that you're doing all these heists for is Bob McHenrick, but apparently the elephant is going to be the guy who's actually paying you. Why he's doing this, I don't know. Like I said before, we'll just have to wait for the actual DLC to come out to learn a bit more about the story. But this DLC is looking really cool, so one thing is that it doesn't look like we're getting new weapons, new masks, which is definitely okay, considering we already got some political-based masks. We got all the presidents, which was okay. And I don't think we really need any more guns, especially because it's free. I mean, new guns are always great for a paid DLC, but as a free update, just 3 new heists is a really great deal, obviously, because we're not paying. So I think it's just really great that we get a free DLC, and it's really cool that we're getting free updates. And like I said before, the reason they're doing this is just because Payday 2 is making so much money. So Starbreeze made $6.1 million in the last quarter, and $5.3 million of those dollars were from Payday 2 sales. So most of their profit is coming from Payday 2. Over the last 15 years, they've lost $14.4 million. And mostly from Payday 2 sales. I'd say 98% from Payday 2 sales. They've made $16 million. So just mostly from Payday 2 alone, they've gotten out of a 15-year debt. this game is selling like crazy, especially on Steam. And I think part of why it's selling so well is just obviously because it's a great game, but it's also not super expensive. It's $20, but you also get sort of a AAA feel from it. It's not like an indie game. I wouldn't call it an indie game at all. But it definitely has a AAA feel, but it's also pretty cheap, and it does go on sale a lot, which obviously helps sales. So it's just doing really great, and that's awesome. And because it's doing so great, the DLC will be coming until late 2015, which is crazy because originally it was supposed to stop in the fall of 2014. So they basically extended it a year, which is really good, and obviously it's making so much money. And because of the sales, I would expect to see a Payday 3, but that's for a separate video, and I'll talk about that like I said, in another video. One last thing I want to mention is that Payday 2 will be free from the 20th to the 24th. Free to play, obviously not free to get. After that, you'll have to pay for it. But it'll also be 65% off. Payday 2 will be 65% off, as well as all the DLC for it. And also Payday the Heist will be 80% off, and that is the first Payday game. So a huge Payday weekend coming up. I expect to see lots of people playing. I know I'll be playing the new heist. So hopefully you guys are excited as I am. I probably will be posting a review. It depends on what other videos I do this weekend. Obviously Elder Scrolls Saturday takes precedence over that review. But I probably will be doing a review with some gameplay that I have from the DLC. And as we get more Payday 2 news, as always, I'll be covering it. I cover pretty much every DLC except the gun packs, because there's not a lot to talk about. But hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could give it a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.